Hi guys, and welcome back to neilpad.com with Niall and Tomas, otherwise known as Snail and Damascus. Um, don't get coffee with us; it will have the wrong name on it. Anyway, this is another Eurovision reaction video. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe editless in the future. It's the Sanremo winner, but is it like Eurovision? We currently don't know if Olly has accepted the invite to represent Italy at Eurovision. If he doesn't and goes to someone else, we're still going to have this. This is still a Sanremo winner, and we're going to react to it, and then we'll do what we need to do. It's fine. We've done it with Montenegro. They screwed us over already this season, so we can do it again. This is Olly, and the song is Balorda Nostalgia. Now, just to say, we did watch Sanremo last night, so we have seen this song. This isn't his performance from Sanremo. This is, I think, from opening night. So just based on when it was posted, but it's the same song, and we'll judge it on this performance as well as what we've seen. We are hoping to get to 500 subscribers before Eurovision takes place, so we would love it if you like this video, subscribe and press the notification bell so that you know when we next upload a video, and comment, tell us what you think as well. You can also go to neilpad.com and follow us on social media and see all of our content through various links that exist there. But this is Italy. Well, maybe Italy.
Huh. It is Italy. It's just we just don't know if it's Italy.
Sanremo. This is Olly. Let's see what we think. I forgot it sort of started with this sort of jaunty guitar.
I like the intro.
Those are some arms.
Yeah. I said that last night. He's got big arms.
You're also jealous that it looked good on the mustache.
Yeah.
I love that there's this sort of nonchalantness to this part of the performance.
Especially with this outfit, which is just sort of like, it's just a normal outfit. Oh no, the pants do glitter.
I can imagine you wearing that outfit,
I just don't have the impressive arms. Oh, the vocal is so cute. So good.
This is one of the reasons I was really quite excited by the sort of nonchalantness that he started with, because we knew how he performed this. Like, it is like it's almost like he is singing for his life.
Yeah.
Like, someone has said to him, if you don't sign this with 100% passion, we will shoot your mum in her head, or something like he's like I don't know, there's just like an urgency, like
the veins are popping in his neck, so he's given this everything. There's a lot of passion, and I love to see it.
And we're just gonna burst the blood vessel or two.
He's got a really good attitude as well.
I really like the instrumentation, actually. It's quite chill where it needs to be here.
Yeah.
And then obviously the colours we've seen.
As far as ballads go, because we're both not really big on ballads, but I feel like this is a very impressive ballad. Strong vocals, a lot of passion, a lot of emotion, a captivating performer.
I wouldn't also say that this is necessarily a traditional ballad.
No.
There's a more poppy element in there as well, a little bit. But I do agree, I think the emotion, I think there's a thing in ballads a lot of the time where it's slow and steady. This is nothing like that. The energy is insane.
Ero già finito, ora ti voglio bene. Ed è stata tutta vita.
I like that last sort of
Grazie
like,
mille.
that's a good way to end.
Yeah, especially with that just little like nice, fragile sort of sounding
Well done,
note.
Ollie.
Okay, that was Ollie, the winner of Sanremo, and potentially by the time you're watching this, Eurovision contestant for Italy. But we will go on the assumption. I would be surprised if he said no.
I mean, he's a very young artist, so I assume you'd want to spread your music as far and wide as you can, even if you don't really have the intention of, you know, constantly touring or anything. But like, I assume if you're a young artist, a starting artist, I don't know how long he's been around, but like, he looks very young, so I assume you'd love the idea that there's people all around the world listening to your music, right?
Yeah.
And this is a really good way to do it, because even though a lot of people do pay attention to Sanremo, when you go to Eurovision, you get that extra boost. I think.
And there's also like the pride of representing your own country as well. Is like I think some people forget that that's also something that can be quite big for a lot of entrants, in my opinion.
Especially a country that has been doing so well at Eurovision ever since they came back. So, but I think it could also be quite daunting, because you don't want to be that one Italian entry that doesn't do well, do you?
True. Yeah. I was about to say, what if we don't qualify and then remembered it's in the big five? My memory is shockingly bad right now.
I have no doubt that if this would have to be in a semi-final, that this would definitely qualify. And I think if this were to be the Italian entry, it would do well.
And you know what? Even if it wasn't a good vocal, I think, you know, some of the gays and the wine mums out there would definitely be voting anyway as well, because he is a good-looking man. There was no hesitation there from Thomas.
No,
but yeah, no, I like that this isn't a traditional ballad. As I said during that reaction, I love the power that energy is given. It is a passion that is coming out of him. Like, it just, and I love how I said it before and I'll say it again, but the way he started so nonchalantly, like he could have thought of anywhere else he'd rather be.
Yeah.
And then he just brought it round and you're like, wow. I think it's quite impressive. Vocally fantastic. Again, don't speak Italian, don't really know what the song is about, but it seemed really nice. I really like the melody of it. I like the instrumentation. Seems a little different for Italy, but not too different for Italy. But you know, they do like a ballad, you know, Marco Martini, Diodato, etc.
Yeah.
But this just feels a little of a different layer on top of it with the way it's performed. So I think this is a really good option for Italy.
Yeah, there's a sort of ease and sort of comfort that sort of vibrates from this performance, and that vibrates from Olly, which I really like. Like you said, the nonchalant attitude. And it's not nonchalant in a negative way, like, I don't really want to be here. It's just that sort of like, well, this is what I'm doing.
Deal with it.
Like it or not. Like, that's pretty much sort of like the vibe that I'm getting, which I love. And he does a great job. I think we said this last night when we were watching Sanremo. Like, does everyone in Italy just know how to sing? Because I have not heard a single bum note the entire night. It was just...
I've just remembered that. You said, imagine you got fined for hitting a bum note in Sanremo and I believed them.
It does feel like... I just love the idea of an artist coming off stage and there being a guy and being like, well, you've hit 3 bum notes and it's 50 euros per note, so that's 150 euro fine. Because everybody can sing in Italy. That's really what I learned from watching Sanremo last night. No, I think this was a really beautiful performance. I don't know what it is with Sanremo, where the staging is obviously this... It's always quite basic. There's not a lot happening. You might have a few of them which have a few dancers here and there, but other than that, it's very minimal. The lighting is quite minimal, and yet every single one of those artists just manages to grab you and just, you know, depending on whether you like the song or not, of course. But just the attitude of the artists.
Yeah.
They've even Olly and a lot of the others being alone on that stage. I feel like the stage never felt empty. It never feels like, oh well, it could do with a little bit more of this, or it could do with a little bit more of that. I feel like Italy is really strong as well with their Eurovision entries, where they send songs that are just that good that you don't need crazy staging. You don't need fireworks. You don't need have to have a load of dancers. Like Marco Mengoni had some like backing dancers behind him, like a trampoline sort of thing, which I thought was done very thoughtful, because Greece has done it before, which was ridiculous a few years ago. But like that was done very thoughtful. But if he'd have been on that stage alone, I think he still would have come top 5.
Yeah, and that sparkly top, he would have got my full attention.
And speaking of Marco, I feel like Marco was a very polished one. If you compare, because it was also like a ballad. Marco was a very polished one, and Olly, like I said, is more like nonchalant. I just really like this, and like we said before many times, it takes a lot for a ballad to grab us. I've seen a lot of comments on Blue Sky last night where people were disappointed with the results, and let's be honest, the results in general were quite wild, were quite crazy. Like Rigomi coming second to last.
Clara coming third to last was absolutely insane to me.
Exactly. Obviously, the quality is very high at Sanremo, so you're obviously always going to have songs that are really good that end up doing rather badly. But
the colours,
the colours. I mean, they came 14th, I think, the colours, which was my favorite entry of the night. I'm sad that they didn't win it, but at the same time, this is still a very good entry. Yeah. So I don't want people to go on social media and be like, oh, well, they're sending another male ballad. Like, okay, the women were very strong. And I think it was, because I posted this last night as well, like, no women in that super final, that was insane. Like, Georgia should definitely have been there. And there were 2 others that should have been in that top 5. But Georgia, that doesn't, but that doesn't take away from the fact that Olly had a really good song and a really, I think, probably one of the strongest performers of the night by far, along with Georgia, but just in a different way. Mm-hmm. And I feel like just because it's not a woman doesn't mean that it's any less of a worthy winner, I feel like. So that's pretty much what I'm trying to say.
No, I agree.
But yeah, Georgia was robbed. She should have been. But then she had already sort of like, in between the lines, she sort of like already confirmed that she wasn't really planning on doing Eurovision. So we wouldn't have seen, I don't think we would have seen her at Eurovision anyway.
Oh, that's a shame. I would have liked that.
Yeah, I think, because I read something about, because there were a couple of people, Italian people on Blue Sky last night that were talking about it. So, I mean, this isn't 100% certainty, but I'm assuming that she wouldn't have done it. Yeah, I think overall this is a very, very good entry for Italy again, if they do end up sending it. This is one where I feel more confident, like, or maybe it's just because it is Italy. It would be top 10, wouldn't it? With that performance. And just a simple but effective staging, and the juries appreciating it.
Yeah.
And Italy tend to do well with televoting also. So this feels like a more safer one to say, well, I could see this coming top 10.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. No,
right?
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I just feel like we're probably going to say, I can see this coming top 10. I feel like we said that for nearly more than 10 songs already. Yeah, there's only like 50.
Yeah.
But like,
that might be problematic.
It might be an issue. But yeah, I think this is a very strong entry for Eurovision if Olly does accept or has accepted by the time we're watching this. I do think it was a really good performance and a worthy winner for Sanremo. Yes. And I do think that most of the show that we saw was insane. Like the quality of it was good. It felt like the new host had tried to bring it into a new era. Also, can we just say they should have sent Tutto Italia? If Olly says no, send Tutto Italia, because that has been in my head all morning. And that was the first night I watched Sanremo for the final night, and that is in my head.
It's also the way that I've been seeing people post Tutta l'Italia on Blue Sky for days, and it was only last night, about 3/4 into the show, I was like, oh, that's why everybody's been saying that, because I hadn't been paying attention to the music at the start of every song. But yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, no, good on you at Sanremo. It was another fun show. Long. Why are you so long? Although it finished on time.
It did actually feel like with maybe 2 or 3 minutes over, but it did finish on
I mean,
time.
that is essentially on time for Italy in
Yeah.
Sanremo terms. Like,
Yeah,
that's
I
on
just
time.
I just don't really understand because there's a lot of fun stuff like the side stuff that they do during the show. There's a lot of fun stuff, and obviously there's loads of jokes from you could tell from the crowd's reaction. But I was thinking the whole time, and I've been thinking this for years now when watching Sanremo. You've got 30 songs, 29 this time, but usually 30 songs. You don't need one interval act that sings 16 songs and then have 5 reclama blocks in between. Like already got 29 entries.
And then we don't need a video of a band being sailed onto a bigger boat.
That was a fun performance.
It was a great performance, but I was just like, why am I watching this? Anyway.
Also, can we just briefly mention? I know this is obviously not a Sanremo, recap or anything that we're doing. Can we just briefly mention the reaction of the crowd during the voting, where at one point it got really loud, which I'm going to get to in a second. But I just loved every single name that they announced from 30 all the way up to 6. The whole crowd like, oh. And I was like, well, you do realize they have to finish at some, they have to finish someplace. It was just funny, like every single one. 29, oh, 28, ooh. It was just like the whole time. And then, of course, Achille came 7th, 8th, I think.
9th, maybe.
No, I think a little bit higher. I think it was like 7th, and the crowd just booed for minutes.
That's why it ran over.
Probably that's why it ran over. It's funny to me that they didn't pick Achille for the gazillionth time, and yet Italy was just like,
maybe we'll see
surprise Pikachu face. Like what?
Maybe we'll see him with San Marino this week. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, we might.
I wonder how many phone calls have been made this morning by the San Marino team.
I've actually not checked if there's an updated list.
Well, we will find out soon enough, I'm sure. Keep an eye out, neilpla.com, because any reactions and any updates we have will come to you there. And please do remember, like and subscribe, and let us know.
Get us to 500 subscribers. Also, have you noticed how every single video that we've recorded in the same room has been twice as long?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, this is one good thing why we have to record remotely, is because we are forced to leave each other, otherwise we just get sidetracked. But we're proving to you guys that we're actually friends. And we actually get on. There's a good friendship there. Anyway, 500 subscribers, that's a goal. Please, just, we would love it. Thank you. And we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.